this lesson, we are going to look at finding angle measures using trigonometry. So if you know the sine, cosine, and tangent ratio of an angle, you can use the inverse of the ratio, sine inverse, cosine inverse, and tan inverse, to find the measure of the angle. So in the first set of problems, we're going to find the value of x and round to the nearest tenth. This is make sure your calculator again is in degree mode in order for this to work correctly. So what we're going to do, as we've been doing here, is we are going to label opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. So again, this is the opposite side, it's opposite the angle. The leg that's adjacent is the adjacent side, and then I have the hypotenuse. Then I'm going to use SOHCAHTOA and decide what, if I'm using sine, cosine, or tangent here. I am looking for the value of x, so I'm looking for the angle measure this time. I have O and I have H, which is going to give me sine. So I have sine, before it was sine of the angle measure, but the angle measure is currently x. So sine of x is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, which is 15 over 24. Okay, so in order to find out the angle measure, we're going to use sine inverse. So you're going to use the button on your calculator that's sine inverse of 15 divided by 24. And then when you plug that in, you're going to get x equals 38, we're going to the nearest tenth, 0.7 degrees. Alright, let's try number 2. Now if we stand here at this, we have opposite, adjacent, opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. So we have adjacent over hypotenuse, which gives us cosine. So cosine of x, we're looking for the angle measure again, is equal to 8 over 11. I mean, angle measure is cos inverse, so inverse cosine of 8 over 11. Put that in your calculator. X is equal to 43.3 degrees. And remember, these are angle measures, so they should have a degree sign. Try number 3. So this is opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. So we're using tan because we have opposite and adjacent. That's what we have, so we're going to use tan. So tan of x. So tangent of x is equal to 20 over 37. Tan inverse of 20 over 37. Plug that in, you get x is equal to, 28.4 degrees. Okay. Go ahead and try number 4 on your own. Pause it. Okay, so number 4 would be 38.5 degrees. You would be using cosine here. Alright, let's take a look at reviewing our sides and angles. So we're going to find the value of x, round to the nearest tenth again. So again, you are using SOHCAHTOA throughout this. So I'm going to stand here, opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. So since I have the opposite, I'm looking for the adjacent. That's going to be tan. So I have tan of 39 degrees is equal to 11 over x. Cross multiply and solve. So I end up with x times tan of 39 degrees is equal to 11. Divide both sides by tan of 39. So x is equal to 13.6. So Hopefully that's a good review. Go ahead and pause and try 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so there's 8, 9, and 10. You can pause it and check those. Let's go ahead and look at number 15. So 15 has a couple of triangles here built in together, so now you got to kind of figure out where to start. Since we have this 24 out here, we're going to start there. Just going to make sure my SOHCAHTOA is on this page. Since it's in triangle CDF, I'm going to start here. This would be my opposite adjacent hypotenuse. And because I'm trying to find DE, so I'm going to label this X here. I'm going to find this side out here. I need to get into the other triangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my opposite using my adjacent. So I'm going to call this Y right now. So opposite over adjacent is tan. So tan 61 degrees is going to be equal to Y over 24. Cross multiply and solve. So when I cross multiply, I get Y equals 24 times tan of 61. So I end up with Y equals 43.3. So this side is 43.3. And then from there, I can use this angle, and I have opposite adjacent hypotenuse on 19-degree angle. So again, I'm using tan because I have opposite and adjacent. So tan of 19 is equal to X over 43.3. Cross multiply. X is equal to 43.3 times tan of 19. Plug in that in my calculator. X is going to be equal to 14.9. And that is DE. And that's what we were looking for up here. Okay, now I'm going to look at an application problem. So remember, when we do these problems, my recommendation would be to draw a picture. They are right triangles, so that's what we're working with. So Jaden is flying a kite and lets off 275 feet of string. And the kite is 150 feet above the ground. Assuming the string is straight, what angle does the string make with the ground? So I'm going to assume here this is what our triangle looks like. So we can assume that our person is here with the kite, and your kite is up here. Okay. Here is our right angle. It says that the kite's 150 feet above the ground. So this would be this here. And he lets off 275 feet of string. Okay. This is what angle does the string make with the ground. So we're looking for this angle measure right here. So then if we go to label it, opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. So I'm looking for SOHCAHTOA, I'm looking for sine. So sine of X is equal to opposite, which is 150, over hypotenuse, which is 275. So X is equal to the sine inverse of 150 over 275. So X is equal to 33.1 degrees. That would be the measure of the angle where the ground and the string are. And that would complete our notes for this section on finding angle measures using inverse.